The United States' unclear crypto policies have led businesses like Ripple to explore investing outside the nation. Brad Garlinghouse has claimed the Ripple CEO advised the U.S. to follow the U.K. and Singapore. How do you think this will affect the cryptocurrency and the U.S. economy? We will answer these questions in today's. With the recent public release of documents related to the Hinman speech, the ongoing legal action by the U.S.U. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, against Ripple Labs has reached a critical turn point, and all eyes are now on Judge Annalisa Torres for the eagerly anticipated summary judgment. The Hinman papers essentially revealed the SEC's preference for Ethereum over other cryptocurrencies. Hinman argued that digital assets issued as securities may afterwards transform into non-securities. However, he only cited Ethereum as an example of such a transformation, whereas XRP investors are presently dealing with the Ripple litigation based on the same principle. In March 2023, Judge Torres ruled on the parties' respective applications to exclude expert witness evidence. Although a decision was made in March, the summary judgment has not yet been issued. Judge Torres has often required less time than this between Daubert decisions and summary judgment. Therefore, the Ripple litigation may soon be resolved. Interestingly, in July 2023, the U.S. Federal Reserve will officially launch the FedNow service. Financial institutions in the United States will be able to provide rapid payment services to their customers thanks to this service, and it will be available around the clock, every day of the year. Notable among the banks participating in the July 1 launch are Finastra, Volante Technologies, and Axie Worldwide, all of whom are Ripple partners. Given this information, some in the cryptocurrency world have speculated that the final ruling in the Ripple litigation has to be issued before the launch of the FedNow service in order to assure complete legal compliance. Given how things are shaping out, it seems like July 1, 2023 might end up being a watershed moment in Ripple's legal struggle with the SEC. The crypto industry is keeping a close eye on this day because it may have far-reaching consequences for the future of regulation of all digital assets, not just Ripple. The most anticipated event of 2023 in the cryptocurrency industry is the summary judgment in the Ripple litigation. Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, both had motions allowed and refused by Judge Annalisa Torres on March 6, 2023. It has already been almost 100 days since then, and we are still waiting for the summary judgment. Already, Ripple's leadership has voiced optimism that a final decision may be issued by the end of 2023. But what are the odds that the verdict would be handed down any earlier than the fourth quarter? It has been around 110 days since the previous decision, but it typically takes federal courts about 166 days to issue summary rulings. The University of Denver conducted a study on civil case processing in federal courts and found that for all summary judgment motions, the mean time to rule was 166 days, but the variation across courts was even more pronounced, from a low of 63 days on average in the fastest court to a high of 254 days on average in the slowest court. Therefore, even taking the typical amount of time into account, there may be little odds of receiving the final judgment in Q3 of 2023. Some members of the crypto community are impatiently waiting for the judge's decision. The extended delay, Crypto Bull said, is damaging the public's faith in the judicial system. Max Keiser, a key Bitcoin advisor to El Salvador's President Bukele, predicts that the SEC will target Ethereum, ETH, and Ripple XRP as unregistered securities. Keiser claims that the SEC is a front for the banking cartel and operates as a protection racket in response to John E. Deaton's tweet claiming the SEC can't kill XRP despite the harm it's done. Keiser tweeted the following. Keiser said the SEC will resort to using national security and the Patriot Act as justification in order to get what it wants. During a discussion between the two leading people in the crypto industry, Deaton admitted that the SEC may have been successful in inflicting major harm to the convicted firms. Losses include a lack of liquidity and the possible delisting of certain users. He did, however, point out that the current SEC chair, Gary Gensler, will not be in his position forever, and that things may shift after he leaves. Deaton said that the SEC deemed Bitcoin a security between 2013 and 2015. That incident is behind us, and he anticipates that the present problems with ETH and XRP will have a similar course. He said that a group of investors had captured the regulatory system, making it the preferred cryptocurrency at the moment. Kaiser concurred with Deaton that XRP's liquidity has been decreased due to SEC regulatory monitoring. He foresaw more trouble ahead for XRP and believes evidence exists that Ripple XRP intentionally set out to deceive regulators by creating a fraudulent cryptocurrency. Kaiser has already tweeted his belief that the SEC's measures against XRP constitute overreach. But he believes the regulatory authority will stop at nothing to stop the idea. Kaiser maintains that XRP will be destroyed by the SEC and that the end of the project is just a matter of time. Prominent Bitcoin advocate Max Kaiser has spoken out with his forecast for the result of the case pitting Ripple against the U.S. EOS Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). Kaiser says he thinks Ripple will lose the court and that XRP is marked for death. The current case, Kaiser tweeted recently, is not about the law, but rather about eradicating XRP. According to him, SEC Chair Gary Gensler was tasked with destroying XRP. Kaiser further said that El Salvador's acceptance of Bitcoin as legal cash was an important step toward ignoring other cryptocurrencies that are considered unregistered securities. Kaiser also made some remarks on prominent companies' initiatives to provide spot Bitcoin ETFs. Recently, WisdomTree, a prominent ETF provider, followed BlackRock in applying to the SEC for permission to create the WisdomTree Bitcoin Trust. Kaiser commented that the SEC's enforcement activities have affected both individual players and crypto exchanges, paving the way for these bigger firms to join the Bitcoin industry. Kaiser, who is well known for his unwavering Bitcoin advocacy, has repeatedly called XRP a shitcoin and other derogatory terms in his criticism of altcoins. In the continuing litigation against Ripple, he has sided with the SEC's claims that XRP is a security. When the SEC takes action against other cryptocurrencies, Kaiser usually uses the occasion to bash the XRP community. Members of the XRP community have shown they are willing to defend the cryptocurrency against Kaiser's claims. Interestingly, CryptoLaw's John Deaton echoed one of Kaiser's claims about the SEC. Deaton agreed with the assessment that SEC Chair Gary Gensler is trying to reduce competition by preserving incumbents and the status quo. The continuing discussion over XRP's legal standing and the role of regulatory agencies in influencing the crypto ecosystem is enriched by Kaiser's forecasts and critiques, which come as the Ripple VZ. SEC litigation proceeds. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, granted Ripple's Singaporean affiliate Ripple Markets APAC Pte. A major payments institution license on June 22. The company also used Twitter to reveal its expanded presence in Asia and Oceania. According to Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, the MAS is still in the vanguard of digital asset regulation because it sees the value of cryptocurrencies in commercial and consumer settings. On June 27th, as part of Ripple's partnership with the MAS, Garlinghouse will speak at a seminar in Switzerland about how investment and clear legislation may aid in the development of digital assets. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stu Alderoty,